Amnian Nights. We're getting straight back into it. We are in prison. Let's go. So, from last time, you were all arrested as you exited the League of Legends and were brought to a guardhouse in Athkatla, where you are currently being interrogated by a couple of different figures. You've seen a few different members of the Watch come and go. You've now met Commander Grimes. And you finally have a face of a name with Captain Angerboda, who you know had been following you or making inquiries about you. There were a lot of guards in this room originally. They've now left as your conversation has gone to more discreet matters and you're trying to build a little bit of trust of each other. But you do have the reassuring, comforting presence of Sergeant Splatter, a large golem with a little metal constable helm strapped to its head, stood in the back of a room. So yeah, you were talking, explaining how you are not to blame. It's skeptical, but some of the information you just offered up was very quickly verified and is checked out. So yeah, we are picking up mid-conversation. Siri was talking.
As I said, this letter here proves that Arvis operation was bigger than just Athkatla. There's a center where their next operations are taking place in Tradesmead. And somehow the firebrands are also associated with this group. And I'm actually going to pass him the letter.
That's sweet. He's like, this letter in your bag, is it?
It is the bag in your chest over there. I assume you've read everything that you could find in there already, so I'm just repeating myself now.
Oh, we're still going through it all, and he'll pick the bag up and hand it over to you in a bit of a sort of pointed show of trust. Let's have it.
I'm going to open it. Can I just check if some of the pockets, maybe some containing, some artifacts have been moved, or if it's still in sort of that kind of like side
it's
pouch?
All clearly been initially rifled through.
Fantastic. So I'm going to find the note. She keeps a notebook where she sketches. Most of it is patterns of her tattoos. She takes it out, passes it on. We found this in the temple.
And he sort of sinks back heavily in his chair for a minute, and while he's reading it, he just reaches out for his bitter smelling coffee and just takes a sip. Not a lot going on at trade meet.
How can you be sure? You thought there was nothing going on here. There's a huge underground temple and you didn't know about it.
As a town, there's nothing going on. So it would seem it's all coming from here then. Well, that's a shame.
What do you mean?
My business is restricted to Athkatla. Trade meet's a good 60 miles away. We won't get any jurisdiction to go and do anything about it. And the Flaming Fist won't give a shit.
They never do.
Well, you know who could follow up.
Something about your manner, even when it's what I was leading towards, you opening your mouth just puts me off my own ideas.
Zero, you've got this.
My brother's heart is in the right place. If your hands are bound to the city of coin, we'd happily look into it for the price of our freedom.
I mean, even without the parts where you were stitched up, there's still quite a rap sheet here. Just gonna remind myself in my little private note the full extent of your rap sheet. There we go. Okay.
It's true we did not start off in the city on the best possible place, but we have tried to prove ourselves ever since, and if we can get you some useful information of what's going on in Tradesmeet and how that affects your city, then hopefully you could have a little bit leniency towards our past missteps.
Make a persuasion check.
I wish I could assist, Sire, but if I did, I think you'd have disadvantage.
Persuasion. 13. Kura shimmers like a little halo around, angelic halo around her.
There's a way we do things here, those of us who try to do it properly. This would not just be sending you off on the way with a bag of gold and a pat on the arse and good luck. You would be working for us. I'll need to chase it up. Not too far up. I imagine there's people that don't give too much of a shit so long as coins coming into the city.
I cannot speak for my companions or my brother, but I myself wouldn't be agreeable to work for you.
Oh, you
I
wouldn't?
don't work for any institution.
You would. You mistake me. You would not be City Watch. You would be contracted for the duration of this work. And then when you come back, payment would be given. In this case, hand waving what we can. And then we will go our separate ways.
What exactly is the service you propose?
Going to trade, mate. I'm putting a stop to this drug flow.
What exactly is trade meat?
Make a history check, everybody.
No, that's me asking that out loud.
Okay. I can't recall the history checks you all made in the temple.
I think Sire had knowledge of Tradesmeet as like an older establishment, but it has been kind of like abandoned for a long time or economically defunct.
It was
Like that.
a small trade town that sat nicely on a few different crossroads, so naturally built up through caravans, taverns, so on. But then a band of ogres rolled over it about 80 years ago. Put the place to the torch. Wave of gnolls passed through less than 2 years later when we were still rebuilding. People just stopped stopping. Brought the horses to go an extra day. Bypassed it altogether. Now it's just a rundown shithole.
Alright, so we go there, we try and sort out this drug operation. And then we come back here and our payment is that our record is cleared with the city.
He leans over and pulls a piece of paper and sort of slaps it out in front of him and goes through it. It's like, so if you are to be believed, a charge each of escape and prison could be waved away if we accept that the 3 charges of murder and a prison officer were not yourselves. Conspiracy to traffic illicit goods. Well, that's a separate conversation for you. Possession, same. Murdering a city guard. There's a not 0 chance he was crooked, from what you've told me and what we were looking into ourselves. 8 charges of murder in the River District. Bandits. Commercial arson. It just makes you a bunch of arseholes, to be honest, that one. I'm not really sure what to do about that. Breaking and entering, and 1 charge of attempted murder against a high-ranking member of a chivalric order. Ridiculously, he does not want to pursue charges on them. And the murders in the Blink Dog. You're saying to your friend.
To be clear, not friend. We thought was a friend and turned out to be, kingpin of all of this.
You might want to take a look at this. And I'm going to pass him the diary of the leader of the Blink Dog gang, whose name escapes me right now.
AJ.
AJ, yeah. As well as the elegant note. No, the cinch notes.
Oh, sorry.
Is it the right?
Minutes. I thought it was the
note.
The cinch.
The
note.
note.
Note is the one that she gives.
That is signed by Ardith about the purging of the Oakman records and the settling of the affairs with the Night Eyes.
He sort of hands him over his shoulder to Captain Angerboda. He's there. Have the scholars check these out. Make sure they're legitimate. What's left? I might be able to get reduced on the technicality. It's about 300 gold fine.
Sounds agreeable. I myself would be happy to volunteer for the construction of a new warehouse or whatever building is needed to replace the one we destroyed.
Asher will pipe up again. I have a question regarding the settling of this drug operation in Tradesmeet. All signs point to a larger conspiracy involving a dragon trying to take over the city. At what point do you consider
fucking hell.
our involvement, satisfied? You want us to just shut down whatever's happening in Tradesmeet and call it good? And whatever else happens is way out of our ability to change?
I don't even know where to begin about dragons.
Well, same. That is why I am asking. But we'll check out Tradesmeet. If it goes further than that,
The irony is, all these magical idiots walking around, keen to prove themselves, keen to become adventurers, keen to become great knights, the city's probably better suited to deal with a dragon turning up all of a sudden than it is a slow, low, homegrown criminal organization. But yeah. Trade me. Sort out what's happening there. And we can consider that slate mostly clean. Anything you do beyond that, should it come up, well, that's just being upstanding citizens, isn't it?
And our personal effects?
Well, you mean what was confiscated?
Yeah, she's gonna gesture to herself that she doesn't have her bag or anything.
Well, obviously the drugs have been taken, but everything else is yours to have back.
She'll just hold up a finger, like as if correcting potion ingredients. But yes, thank you.
Okay. The potion ingredients that don't carry a custodial sentence will be returned to you then.
Alright. And she'll look a little pained, but yep.
I don't think you had anything amongst you that was considered super sketch outside of drugs.
I had some poisons on me.
I do not think the existence of poisons in themselves would be illegal.
Okay.
It isn't like, we're not in the king's kitchen.
Yeah.
So I think just carrying them. Yeah, just scanning through. Ooh. Huh. Okay. I want to do a check. Based off what I know about what has been happening in this city and what hasn't happened in this city and what has happened in other regions, I am having Grimes do a history roll to see what he would know about, to see how much he'd recognise a detonator. So he rolled a 20. And yeah, he will pull it out from under his desk. I suppose you may have noticed, Siri, that it wasn't in your bag when you looked. Which one of you's an artificer?
None of us. But I can put a device like that together.
Bloody hell. My understanding is these sort of devices can be extremely dangerous.
They can. I found the detonator in the warehouse that we raided.
I was about to ask if that's how you level the warehouse.
It was not. Not necessary.
Well, I admire your self-restraint in not utilising such a device.
It has its uses. But it is dangerous too.
Shit, actually, is it still a detonator? You don't have this anymore, do you? I thought you spent time crafting it.
No, yeah, it's a bomb.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's got a
okay.
bomb in her backpack.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, any weapon can be dangerous in the wrong hand.
Yeah,
It's
unfortunately,
very, like-
I have to exercise realistic constabulary. We will, of course, be keeping hold of this as well. I'm sure you will understand.
I rather you didn't. Such an artifact can be useful, and we don't know what to expect when trades meet. There might be places we need to enter.
Tell you what, then.
We do.
Here's another exchange of good faith. It'll take about 3 or 5 days for me to get the paperwork chased up, for us to allow to extend this contract to you. How about this? You will not spend the next 5 days in holding cells here, waiting for that to come through. You will continue to have your freedom. But this stays here, and I'll hand it to you when you're leaving the city gates.
That would track with what I said. And so it is agreeable.
Is there anything you need to do to, stop it? In the meantime.
Could I?
Oh, fuck yeah.
That's a remarkable trust you've just displayed.
You don't seem
And
a
she's
suicidal type.
She's just disconnects a couple of cables and presses a pen in a particular place. It is harmless as a kitten. Boom!
Angerboda comes in and is like, bloody hell, look at it. The letters are real.
I assume for the next 5 days you want us staying within the city limits.
Makes no odds to me. If you're hoping to get this back and to clean your slate in the long run, can't stop you from running.
By this, is he indicating the bomb?
Yeah.
Okay.
You ain't getting your drugs back, love.
No, I know. I was just wondering, like, if he was holding our bags hostage. It was like, okay, the bomb. Okay. I'm asking. I don't know how to ask this over the table. I have quest paralysis, I guess, because we had that really enticing offer from the Adventurers Guild to go hunt a dragon that was supposedly within our ability.
Well, you haven't had that conversation yet. And over the table, based on what I have already laid out in the Discord channel, is this is effectively slightly unrealistic, but is him allowing to say, let's pause the main quest for a few days so you can pursue the side activity I've set up for you.
Okay, yeah. So that's what I was asking. Is like,
take the fucking olive branch while you're at it.
I'm trying not to be like metagaming, but at the same time, it's like, what direction are we headed? Like, do we just chill for 5 days and then report back?
He has said that it will take several days for this to come through.
Cool. I was just making sure we wouldn't get in trouble for being ported away to a side adventure. And
No.
Cool.
His eyes glazed over for a moment and he suddenly comes back to it. So have you any questions for me? Oh, here we go. Go on.
Have you noticed any activities by the Firebrands group in Athkatla recently?
I can't say that I have, not since we did that nasty bombing business in Baldur's Gate.
Keep an eye out. Just in case.
What should I be keeping an eye out for?
Any public gatherings, markets, fairs.
Well, I know that much.
Parades.
I was hoping you were going to have something we can do to try and get involved before mass gatherings in public places.
I wouldn't be able to help, I'm afraid. But if whoever wrote this letter, this Yuga, if they don't hear from...
How much do you know about the Firebrands?
Enough to know they can be a threat to any city. I know about the Baldur's Gate incident. You know that I know about the Baldur's Gate incident. I'm pretty sure what showed up in my record is not just my Athkatla activities. Suffice to say that I worry that whoever wrote this letter, if they do not hear from Ardeth soon, they might resort to Plan B. And then you might have them in your city.
And would you have any idea on how to contact them?
The group? Would she? Because I can't lie, but I don't think she does.
I don't think she does.
I don't. They're not the sort that appear in books and contact sheets. They're the sort that find you when they want it. But maybe, perhaps just avoid any particular public celebrations for the time being.
I noticed this touching concern didn't manifest this morning when there was an arena full of thousands of people. But I suppose there was coin on the line there. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
I guess I wasn't thinking.
I expect to see you all back here. Let's play conservative. We don't want to waste your time and mine. 1 week from today.
All right.
And I'll have your licenses, a contract of authority, in case you are stopped by any guards or, heavens forbid, flaming fist patrols who have grace to explore that region. We'll know that you are acting on the Council of Six.
Yeah, we've been here a while, right?
Yeah, I'd say we're getting to evening. You've been held for a few hours, interrogated separately, which we obviously expedited in session, but you would have each had like a full grilling.
Did he send someone to check on Quintessa? Like if she was back home or she was.
I think he did. I think you mentioned that early on, didn't he? We sent somebody out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just wondering.
Over the course of the afternoon, I think someone would come back in and say that they've checked in and she's at home and accounted for.
Cool. Asher would visibly relax.
So as unusual as it might seem, at this point, and despite this list in front of me, it would seem that you are free to go. You're still at the Adventurers Guild, yeah?
Yep.
1 week from today.
1 week from today.
Can you please let me know, actually, do you have any plans to kill anybody else in the city, or burn any buildings down, or investigate any leads? Or is it
Absolutely
a nice,
not.
quiet 7-day coming up for you?
Hopefully it's super quiet.
Have some adventuring from the league, from the guild.
Inside the city or out?
Depends what the posting is.
I don't think they've got all that much work inside the city walls.
I think it would benefit all of us if you were to stretch your legs outside the walls for a few days. Very well then. And sort of gets up and hands your bags to you.
Asher would like to check that her winnings are in there.
Yeah, I mean, if you're all having literally all that is missing is the illegal stuff.
Okay.
So they did find and remove my drugs.
Yeah. Everybody's illegal, everybody's drugs have been taken. The bomb is taken temporarily, as mad as that would seem. But yeah, everything else is absolutely fine. If you're sure of Mark, Sergeant. Come this way. The big golden sort of rumbles behind you.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Opens a door that is far too small for him. Artist didn't consider. And just steps down. Sort of the rocks all rearrange as he steps through them and he back up.
Commander, do make sure that those guards that have gone to investigate the mausoleum are quite safe. I do think that there are at least a handful of quite dangerous beasts in there. I wouldn't want to see any of them get hurt.
Noted. I'll be joining myself in a minute.
Well, take care.
Siri lingering.
No. I think
No.
she's just typing.
Sorry.
Ah,
No, she's not. She's sorry. I didn't. There's a roof. All I can see is a roof.
and Sergeant Splatter doffs his little tin hat to you all before sliding the gate over behind you all and re-entering the building. And yes, you are again in the city.
I think we should perhaps get far away from this current place and, like, decompress. Should we go somewhere where we can get a quiet lunch and catch up?
Absolutely.
You would recognize from having been led here that you are in the center of you're basically this guard tower, and you've seen this building before. You are effectively perfectly triangulated between the warehouse you burnt down, the Blink Dog, and the bridge to go to the Copper Coronet. So you're about 15 minutes from the Copper Coronet, about 10 minutes from the Adventurers Guild, about 30 minutes from the sushi bar, things like that. It is on the map, on the city map as
Watch House.
the Watch House.
The Blink Dog isn't really going to be a good place to go.
I could use some carbs. Maybe a sushi place, or
Sure.
maybe the copper coronet.
Wherever you think we can get a, quiet word in while we get our, victuals in too.
Then probably the coronet.
Then sadly, across the bridge it is. Closer anyway.
Okay. I will take you to a Copper Coronet.
There, we're probably going to try and find somewhere where we can talk privately, even if it's just slightly in a corner or something. We'll keep our voices down either way. Everything we say from now on, we keep our voices down. Disclaimer.
Stage whispers.
Let me just find. Okay. Yeah. It is a fairly quiet evening.
It's evening.
It is by now, yeah.
Okay.
It was getting late in the day by the time that you were released.
Would we have been able to hear on the way who won the tournament? If I were to ask someone, perhaps?
Yeah, you hear that Clem and his team made it to second place. They were defeated in the finale by word is currently going around in a bit of an incredulous tone because Clem's group almost always end up winning. That despite their number, they were defeated by a lone swordsman.
What? Did a
Wow.
god take human form and
His name was Stephen Endax.
I'm not gonna type that on my notes.
No.
That just feels like bullshit.
Okay, so let's catch up, guys. That was a lot, you know. The good news is we're not going to get locked up, probably.
We should.
How sad does Asha look right now?
She looks tired and like she maybe has a headache. She's doing the whole like fingers against the temple thing a lot.
Why was he saying like trafficking? Like, sure. Did this person just walk very
Oh,
close?
excuse me. And you've spoken to this woman before.
Hiya.
Just letting you know, because you've just arrived. There is a show due to start in about an hour, and at that time, we will ask people to lower their voices for the duration of the show.
Sounds great. What kind of show?
I don't. Just a play, I think. Just a little bit of a play.
Sounds great.
You haven't seen any plays here before, have you? Then, just
I
thank you,
haven't, but
thank you. And you see her just sort of go back round to another table and tell them.
Yeah, why was he saying trafficking? Like, what exactly did you have on you?
I frequently carry many different types of ingredients on me. A lot of them are more controlled substances than others.
I feel like in this rare instance, Atticus would suspect that he's not being told the truth.
Is this going to be the first? This be the first one?
I would like to roll an insight check.
Fuck! This is the first one, but it's Atticus.
And he's not very wise at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they've got a connection.
You can read it like a book.
Yeah, she's like, nothing she said is untrue, but it's definitely not the full truth.
Okay. I feel like based on the vibe and what he's picking up, he can tell roughly what the full truth is, but you know, we don't have details and that's fine. Sure, yeah, of course. So we don't need to leave right away for trade meet. And they did potentially say they've got something for us at the guild. So we should
Yeah,
at
it
least
sounds like we should maybe
check
get out
up
of
on that.
town for a few days.
fine by me. You know, I'm quite happy to let the heat die down a bit. This has been crazy. Also, there are some things that we should investigate. You know that like that crazy book that we found in the mausoleum, the Tome of Hues. I've still got that, and I've got no idea what that's about.
Siri, you hear a voice in your head, but unfortunately, the voice mod is not working, so I can't do my usual effect. Their servers are down. And you recognise the voice as being Athkatla Ilum from the Temple of Ogma.
Okay.
Siri Gladstone, we have books for you. You are not at the guild hall. Where can they be sent? And you would know that you can reply in your mind to the tune of 25 words.
At the Copper Coronet for the next hour and a half. Afterwards, Adventurers Guild.
There's nothing else, yeah? The conversation carries on.
I believe we're about to get a delivery of additional books. Talking about mysterious. Have you tried reading it? Is it in a language you understand?
No, so it's got like, I mean, I'm not going to get it out here, obviously. It's covered in arcane runes of some kind. They seem to be shifting on the page, and it had those, like arcane chains binding it and preventing the pages being turned.
I remember.
But I don't know what those runes mean. I mean, especially when they're floating all over the page. But perhaps it'll be relevant for our outing.
I wonder if there's some sort of arcane master in the city whose services we can employ.
I mean, I'm sure there will be, but I don't like the idea of how much it might cost. You heard how much it was to identify things.
You propose we sit
above
in.
the table. Does that stir anything with Atticus in character?
I'm aware of what you're talking about.
Sure.
And yet we would just sit on it. I mean,
See, if Hitchin were
forgot
here,
what I was
that would
gonna say.
absolutely be a guys. There's an amazing wand that for 75 gold.
50. He said 50.
Yeah. But he'd be like, for 75 gold.
well, I don't have any other options. I mean, unless you've suddenly developed the ability to read arcane books.
Well, I mean, I don't know if I I mean, do we need an interpreter, or do we just need to identify it? Like, would knowing what it is help, or would that reveal its secrets? Because the guy, the rat guy, was he a rat? I think he was some kind of rat man. I don't know. Who was the fucking pirate who could identify shit for us?
It's a goblin!
Was he a goblin?
A
Whatever.
rat man!
He acted like a rat. Yeah, he like, is it worth paying him to identify? Is that like, would that help us? I don't really know what the effect might be.
I have no idea how to do any of that. And I never will. That's bard and wizard only, right?
It's not warlock, that's for sure.
It's not sorcerer.
I'm sure there's some sort of service that we can find in the city. I mean, it's a place where you can buy any service for gold.
That's true.
We don't need to go to the goblin. I mean, his prices were fairly exploitative.
I'm sure we can find a cheaper way of identifying. But it'll probably still cost a lot of money. Just not as obscene as he was making out.
Yeah, we can try and shop it around.
Maybe we can offer our services otherwise.
I actually remember seeing that it could be done for around 50 gold.
Where?
So that's certainly an option for us.
Was that in character, sir? He said where?
Oh yeah, I was asking where.
Yeah, he said it very quietly.
Sorry.
Yeah, and I ignored you.
Oh.
Speaking of, I do have quite a lot of crap that I've been lugging around with me, and I'm going to need to sell some of it off. Certainly before we embark on any, missions or what have you.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm literally going to not be able to walk for the sheer amount of stuff I'm carrying around.
Certainly, I am the same. I also think I probably need some armor upgrades like yours.
I'd certainly
This is-
recommend it. The shield takes you far, but it's always good to have extra. Are people moving around? Okay, yeah, so I need to sell some stuff off. Does anyone have any particular business, or are we planning to head pretty much straight to the guild later to see what they've got going on?
I could deal with running some errands on the way to the guild.
Good
Yeah.
evening.
Is that my dude?
Your dude?
I forget his name.
This is the person you spoke to a couple of times in the Temple of Ogma.
Yes.
Oh.
Okay.
It's not your drug dude.
No, I thought it might be the dude that I can buy the license from.
No, he's
Justinius. No, he's a satyr. This is a gift. You're so racist. Yeah, he comes in with a large wax paper wrapped bundle. It's like, sorry, I ran. It was starting to rain, and the books. I believe the Athkatla sent word of my arrival.
He did.
I have these for you as requested. These are somewhat hastily transcribed copies. They are yours to keep, I understand.
I appreciate that. Is there any payment due?
Payment was made beforehand in the service you gave to us.
Understood.
Besides, knowledge. No, yes, this is fine. And sort of nudges the pile a little bit and like gives you all a bit of a nod.
What sort of pile are we talking about, DM?
It looks to be a pile of you see, maybe 3 books, one of which is particularly thick. It's like I will be about my business then.
Oh, before you go,
Yes?
we've been discussing we might need the services of someone practiced in the arcane, deciphering of runes, identifying magical artifacts and objects. Would you know anyone like that in the city that doesn't charge an obscene price, or that is perhaps in need of help?
For a reasonable price, no. I feel like practitioners, as their skill increases, so only does their price. But in need, I'm unsure. The cowled wizards obviously are the most powerful practitioners in the city, but they would not give you any assistance whatsoever unless you were of significant nobility with something that they wanted. There are enough small stores around the city. Identifiers, travelling adventurers. Talgirius' tomes as well is a forefront merchant relating to magical books, but his store has been closed for several weeks, I understand. I'm unsure why.
I see.
Anything else?
If anyone of particular renown or note is in need of assistance, would you send them our way?
Yes, of course.
Thank
And
you.
he gives you all a nod.
Sire, did you request these books? Well, were you waiting on them, or are they just things that they think that we might be interested in?
You requested, so if you remember, in character, you were very much like, hey, you must have some sort of backup of the section that was destroyed. Can you transcribe some bits for us?
Yes.
Yes. Are you opening the package?
Yes, 100%.
There are
Absolutely.
3 books in there. You have Elegy for the First World, a very large book called the Codex Draconis, and
Oh my god.
and a smaller book called Sendax, the Worm of Many Eyes. And those are all
Sendax is a worm!
those are all added to the Dragon Hall category of lore.
Okay, I guess I have my evening activities sorted.
Yeah. Now, the Codex Draconis is a huge book, obviously.
Yes.
But if anybody wishes to read for our viewers Sendax, the Worm of Many Eyes, I will provide an inspiration for their excellent reading.
Sendax, the Worm of Many Eyes. Status.
Are you holding the
presumed-
book, Atticus? Do you pass the book to Atticus, Siri?
For the viewers, not for the party.
Do you feel? I feel like the book pile would have been right on top of City, like next to City, and Atticus would have just grabbed
Dive
one,
straight
pulled
in,
it
yeah.
over,
Sure.
and yeah, that's
Having said that, I'm not going to read it in his voice.
Fucking knew that.
Sendax is an amethyst variant of the extremely rare gemstone branch of dragons, and as of the time of the most recent update to this tome, one of only 2 confirmed gemstone dragons alive in Faerun, the other being Azuria Deepshield, the Sapphire Queen. The Worm of Many Eyes has mostly led a quiet existence. His age is estimated to be around 300 years old, and his confirmed involvement with historic events to date is mostly limited to violent attacks on other dragons assumed territorial. Activities attributed to Sendax, the Worm of Many Eyes, are as follows. The attack and killing of Eroclufala, Worm of Golden Hue in 1294. The manipulation and possible possession of several trade lords along the Sword Coast in 1310 regarding the restrictions of blood being used in alchemical trade. That sounds like what is going on with the weird, scary drugs to me. A reported attack, unsuccessful, on renowned archmage Mordenkainen in 1442. The attack and killing of Coravellium the Cultivator, so he was responsible for that, in 1457. Unconfirmed as of 1492, coordinating an attack on the Athkatla Temple of Ogma. Otherwise, little is known about Sendax, although several uncorroborated reports from sailors indicate a dragon of Sendax's color and size emerging from the oceans suddenly, perhaps hunting or lairing beneath the waves.
Give yourself an inspiration.
Very interesting. What kind of band does being around 300 put you in? Is that adult? Ancient?
That would typically class you as being at the top end of young, I believe.
Okay.
if only there was an age in the Codex Draconis, an age span.
If only.
If only. Maybe in the new transcription they can add.
Yeah, actually, there we go. Dragons are considered adults after their first century of life. So that is adult.
Cool. Yeah, very interesting. The stuff about blood being used in alchemical trade. I can't remember what it was I read, but Ardith wrote something about getting blood into the city or something.
No,
So-
they've got someone being held and they're taking blood or something like that.
Sounded to me like the blood being, because I mean we know that the hotshot's not just hotshot, right? It's something that's in part helping transform people into scary monsters.
But
There's-
the protests
there's
of
a-
the blood drawing have stopped since we showed them we still have their friend in stasis.
Oh no, that was not the one I was thinking of.
Well, that's from Yagashura to Ardith.
That's probably what we will find in Tradesmith. Whatever guest this is.
Permits to allow the blood to enter the city quietly, yes. So they want to bring blood in for some reason. And I mentioned amassing quite a stockpile, and they did have a big stockpile of hotshot. I mean, bringing one illicit substance into the city as another illicit substance, if that's what's happening, is certainly one way of going about it.
Or the drug is made from the blood of something.
Sounds like it might be. Don't know why though. Okay. So yeah, like totally. So does anyone have anything else they want to do other than like read and to run some errands, or should we check out the guild first, or do you want to do some errands and then we'll approach the guild about work afterwards?
You would know that we are now absolutely past the point where shops would have closed.
Damn it.
Perhaps tomorrow you would come with me. I could use your advice on armor.
Always a pleasure. In fact, you know what we should do is we should fix your armor up a little bit this evening before we go to bed, just so that if we go to sell off yours in replacement for something, that it's in good stead. That's what I did before I upgraded mine. I've got my
Sounds
smith
good.
tools with me, so it's no problem.
So, should we head back to the guild for the night?
Sounds good to me.
Just checking as well. Just more for flavour. Did you even buy any drinks from Virgil in here, or did you just come in and sit down at a table, chat about refreshment, and then leave?
No, I was actually about to ask you, because I still have the communal piggy bank, which has 8 gold, 5 silver pieces, and 16 copper pieces. I think Siri's definitely eating. Like, that was
Sure.
a lot of calories spent.
Sure.
Yeah,
So you
I
got
would
she-
so you got a good meal and refreshment while you were having this conversation.
Yes, and I was going to ask you just now, like, what do we owe him? So I
If
can
you
discount it from
were
the
if you
piggy
were
bank.
like cheat day, rewarding
Yes.
yourselves afterwards on the best stuff they've got with a few drinks, we could say a gold each.
Okay.
We all died today, so I think that's probably fair.
Yeah, so she's getting that.
Okay.
Her communal piggy bank is getting smaller, but perhaps we can refresh it with some of our gamings, no?
Sure, sounds good.
What's in my chat message? Oh, Atticus has sent Obsidian the Ebonstone Sentinel. Okay. So what? You have 2 malls now, effectively, Obsidian. What's this looking like in terms of?
I just put one in my pocket. Put one in my
He's
pocket.
just Geralting it,
But they're malls. Are they just crossed on your back or something?
He's almost 7 feet tall.
That's true. That's true.
I like to imagine that once he ascends to having like 28 strength, then he'll just dual wield them.
Titan's grip, that. Yep. Okay, cool. So we are heading back to the guild hall, are we?
Mm-hmm.
Were we around long enough to see any of the play?
Yeah, it was terrible. As you approach, as you approach the front of the building, you hear cries coming from around the back of the building.
What kind
Take
of
off running?
cries?
Just someone is clearly shouting out in terror.
We run.
Uh,
Oh no.
can you delete the other Siri, because I can't move because she's colliding with Mira
Where is the other Siri? I did have a look. I did
Inside.
look and see if you were already here.
inside.
Oh, there she is.
Next to-
Bam.
yeah.
She's gone.
Thank you.
Asher is 10 feet in the air, by the way.
So is Siri. Oh, I can't move.
Yeah, rushing back, you see a patron of the hall who looked like they've staggered out to use the outhouse, but has been thoroughly butted to the floor by a large and angry-looking goat whose rope ends very suddenly as if chewed.
Obsidian, is this your goat?
At the sight of you all, it crosses over the fellow on the floor with 2 very unfortunately placed hooves to the chest and just trots over next to you, Obsidian.
Looks like it.
We're terribly sorry, sir. And I'll go over and try and help him up and dust him down.
A bloody thing.
We're supposed to take care of it. Looks like
Take care of
it's
it. Why?
above them.
Oh, you mean they were?
Yeah.
Obsidian. Why are you keeping a goat?
Well, I got it.
I can see that, but why?
It was a gift from the farmer.
And what do farmers do? They raise meat. So sell it to a butcher or something. If we hadn't already eaten today, I'd say we'd butcher it right now and just cook it.
Everyone make me an insight check.
Sira is patting the head of the goat. Actually, just in the little chin chin. Insight?
Yes, please. Atticus, you just have the strangest and most disconcerting sense. As you say that, the goat just throws you an absolute shit eye.
Something
We
weird
can't
about
eat
this
her.
goat, guys.
She's Obsidian's pet or companion.
I mean, it's a gift, most of all. And well, sort
Clearly,
of looking around. Oh, there's no one around. So was the goat just posted somewhere there under the? I don't recall where they were supposed to hold. Keeping it. Oh my god. It's Arabelle all over again.
As you're talking, it gives Atticus a glare, then just. And I'm going to say, I'm not going to do damage, but for a crit, I'm going to say, Atticus, make me a DC 18 deck so you're going on your ass. It just, all of a sudden, as you're talking, it just lurches and its head catches Atticus in the gut, and just the shock or surprise of it, he just trips over his feet and lands on his heavily armoured arse for a moment.
So then we'll look towards the goat with newfound respect.
God damn it! He's gonna get up and I'm gonna punch the goat in the face.
can I actually wait, hold on. No, wait, hold on. I've got I'm gonna make an attack because I've got Sentinel. And when someone attacks someone by 5 feet from me, I can do an opportunity attack. So my opportunity attack is a grapple rather than an attack.
Okay.
Does that work?
Sure.
Does that work? So I'm gonna try to intercept the hit. I don't know how that works.
We'd make an opposed athletics versus. Well, you'd make athletics. I can choose athletics or acrobatics, which are the same, really. 2, yeah. It's not even trying. It's not even trying.
Oh, I'm not grappling the goat. I'm grappling Atticus.
Oh!
Yeah.
I thought you were grabbing the goat. Okay,
No.
never mind that.
Oh, she's protecting the goat over her own brother.
Atticus
I'm
is
not-
Oh
on
my
She's
God.
gonna back up a bit.
Fuck me. Ah. I physically can't beat that. She's stronger than me.
She's just gonna gently intercept the arm.
Hey, look. I may be grappled.
that's-
That doesn't mean I can't hit it. Just so you know.
Go hit it.
If he did. Didn't? He does strike the goat.
That hasn't shown for me. The last thing is still Asher.
No, it's up there. It's
It was
a bit up
previous
because he
roll.
did the unarmed strike before.
Oh. Are you attempting to make this non-lethal? Or are you trying to kill the goat?
Let's say that because of the intervention, I don't strike it as well as I'd hoped.
Okay. No damage is done, but it is booted back 5 feet.
Because it's a goat.
It's a violent beast that's out of control.
This
I
is
think it-
also how I established partnership with it.
Obsidian, you need to.
It should now
side to side.
understand that you are above its level.
If you're not careful,
leave
it's
you
just gonna
alone.
wander off into the city. You understand that, right? If you're not careful, then I'm gonna unleash a torrent of flame on it, and we'll cook it right here and now.
I don't think Obsidian would happen to be carrying a carrot.
It's moved over near Asher, although she did back away, and is now just meticulously chewing its way through the hedge.
That's more like it. We'll have to do with a chain, I suppose.
No,
Looks like-
I do not think it appreciates being chained up. I think that was the problem. She points at the broken rope. Clearly, the creature just wants to be free to roam.
Can it roam within the city bounds? Surely it
Not
will be
without
just added to that strange list that the captain is taking.
I mean, I'm sure
Unleashing
it'll roam
goats
until
on the city.
someone decides to grab it for dinner.
Someone will either take it for themselves or return it to a farm. It can't just wander around in a city.
Right, I'll just... I'll take a bit of rope just for leading purposes. Try to get it to move alongside us. Possible.
Its eyes narrow.
I mean, do we have to do this every time? Just like lower his head menacingly.
You butt it, and it will follow you.
All right. Well, let's see what they say inside. I don't even remember if did I speak to them here about the goat keeping?
Yeah, they're happy to keep a goat here.
Yeah, but clearly it's not as easy as they thought. I'll have to think of it. I mean, surely it cannot just accompany us.
Yes, it can. You know what? It can. We can take it to fight a dragon. That'll be a great way of dealing with the goat problem.
Don't,
I
because
mean-
I will have a goat land a killing blow against a dragon in this campaign.
I mean, if it can send you to the ground, it could actually be useful, I suppose.
By Tor, I've had enough of this.
Are you heading back around, are you?
I am.
You knew there was an entrance back there. Most of you have used it before.
I did know.
You want to give him a front door?
I didn't want to go past the goat.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
I wanted to check out Hubris on the way in.
Yeah, I mean, as you are as well, they were healed up, so they look absolutely fine. She looks rather happy with herself. You see that her she's sporting a nice new silver necklace. There's a large emerald on it and shimmers with magic.
Hubris, I hear congratulations are in order. You did very well.
It was interesting not to win, but The rewards were still significant.
I
You
can
all
only
acquitted
imagine.
yourself very well for your first time.
Admittedly, to be honest, I think I'm surprised that we got as far as we did, but I certainly look forward to seeing what we can do next time. Better prepared, better equipped, and the like. Does Hubris have her weapon on her?
Yes.
Her? It? Is
Yes.
Hubris a woman?
Are you just going to straight up ask?
I'm not going to ask.
My
What
God. They appear,
vibe do I get
they
by looking?
appear femme.
Okay. And great sword attached to the back or something?
No.
No weapon in sight.
No.
Interesting. That was quite the weapon you were wielding. You don't carry it with you?
Yes. And
Aren't
just,
you standing guard?
just appears out of thin air into her hand for a moment. Before she's turned it over. Not flaming, but turns it over a couple of times for a moment. Flames on for just a second. And then weapon's gone again.
Not a bad trick, not a bad at all. I shall have to remember that one.
Obsidian. It was a thrill to watch you climb on top of that mechanical device. You fight with passion. I respect it.
Thank you.
If we find ourselves in the same around again in the future, it would be good.
We shall.
It would be good to settle things between us as individuals. I think that would be good sport.
It means a lot, although I am not sure if that would be quite as exciting a sight as you say. Feels overly generous of you.
I'm sure you will, if you don't die, you will continue to strengthen. Every encounter is a lesson.
I am looking forward to that one. Wish I had more luck climbing Clem, though. Slippery one.
Many have climbed that mountain. I would not care to. He is in the back. He has work for you. Is my understanding?
Work to be done.
Greetings, Mila.
I'm
Clem Fandango. You old dog.
Yeah, he sat there with with a large goblet of wine and a map sprawled out in front of him. He looks a bit more serious than usual, but he does break into a smile when he sees you. And as well, are you all going to be going straight in to chat with him?
Obsidian wanted to handle the goat business first.
I will say hi to Mila and then go on
Okay.
through.
And
I
what-
think Sita's just following up, so yeah, but she's not saying much.
and what is the goat business?
I'm afraid that my hornet companion found itself on the loose. Seems like
That is the fourth rope it has chewed through in 2 days.
would you
I
Do you
don't want to tie the thing to a post.
Right.
Is there not a nice farm you can take it to?
Just behind the city. Would there... Perhaps there would be someone who could speak to the goat. Is that not an ability that anyone within the guild possesses?
Oh, like a druidic thing. I could ask around. I mean, would if we put a fence up, would it stay inside the fence?
Perhaps, but maybe we could just strike an accord with it, so that it could
I will ask around, and if
walk around without impairment.
if I find
But
if
just-
anybody comes in who I know to have that affinity with animals, I will send them in your direction. In the
I
meantime,
would appreciate it. I am willing to pay for it. I believe that's how things are done around here.
Yes, yes. Well, I will certainly keep that in mind. But yeah, if you're going through to Clem, that is a perfect spot for us to take our brief 10-minute break before we get to the mission at hand. Oh, what? How did Obsidian
Who
transcend
opened that?
time and space? There are 2 Obsidians on my screen.
Oh no. It's only one.
Oh, we're dragging back. There we go. That was weird. Okay, cool. We will be back in 10 minutes. Sits at his table with his Why do I have multiple? There we go. That's better. I had multiple tracks of music playing at once. That was very confusing. But yes, he is there with his wine goblet and the table, and a map spread across the table in front of you. And he's like, good evening.
Good evening, and congratulations again on getting so far in the League of Legends. Outstanding work.
Didn't win, which was rather unusual.
You have won before as well.
I believe 6 times now.
Goodness gracious. I'm afraid I wasn't there to see the final battle. Who was it that bested you in this scenario?
We didn't get his name. A lone fellow, wicked with a blade, made quite quick work of all except Cassiana and Hubris. Gorbaslazu, poor fellow, went down almost immediately. Confounded him in some way, something with the eyes, and then almost passed clear through the poor fellow.
Most impressive.
I managed to last a good few seconds myself. Managed to nick him on the arm, but I'm not going to lie and say I wasn't utterly outdone.
Well, it's always good to experience the combat of our betters. That is how we learn after all.
Funny you should say so, my boy. Everyone make me an insight check.
Ooh.
Ugh.
Obsidian, you see there is a Clem's usual attitude seems somewhat dulled or sobered. This is... You have, of course, come to see me for the mission, the undertaking we discussed.
Oh,
It's serious business. You allow me to be more serious for a moment. It's all gay frivolity when we're dealing with the unimportant matters, the small beasts, the membership fees, etc., etc. great fun talking about the spoils. This is the serious business we talk about now. Sending 4 untested, untried, new members to face a dragon.
We may be new members, but I think that we have proved that we are fairly capable.
Still, it weighs heavily on me. You're all resolved to this undertaking?
I mean, I'm always up for a challenge, but I certainly wouldn't mind hearing more.
I have held this job away from the others, following our previous discussion. So if at any point you decide that it is not for you, there will be no shame. And there will be others who can take up the undertaking. He looks at a map that is in front of him, is wider than it is tall. It is a map of Arm as opposed to one of Faerun. And he... Fairly itchy nose, I do apologise. He traces his finger right from Athkatla across the expanse of the continent until he arrives at the far other side. Do you all have, if you hit J and go to map, do you all have Faerun map visible to you now?
Yes.
Yeah. So you'll see I've put a couple of little markers on there.
Good God. Reversmoot is very north.
It is indeed very north. My map appears to have betrayed me. Why would it do this? It's no longer loading for me. Let me just look elsewhere instead. Am I going to have to reload? I am. Anyway, he traces his finger far to the right, I believe almost 1,000 miles, to the forest you see, a large forest on there to the east called the Gulfmere, that is just south of the Sea of Stars, I believe. You obviously would have heard of these mountains, Obsidian, as they are fairly close to home. I believe we established when we were trying to pick places that it is the Orsaron Mountains just to the south of the Gulfmere that you have hailed from. But yeah, he taps the Gulfmere. We've had several reports that the good fellows of the Cedar Watch, who patrol and safeguard the Gulfmere, a terribly wild forest, have recently been beset. Initial reports were confusing and conflating, but soon enough we have pieced together that it is in fact a young new dragon, fresh to the region. And as these beasts are wont to do when they pick a place that they wish to make their own roost, well, they get to work. The information we have so far is that the dragon appears to be green and is given the name Gullivanuxanulin.
I'm sure that you can
I'm
write
obviously
that down
going to
for
type
us.
it out. Yeah. Gullivanuxanulin.
Jesus, Craigie.
Galavaionul alien. Oh, fuck me.
It's been attacking and raiding. The Cedar Watch tried to be about their business with it, but by all accounts, the flight of this thing is tremendously fast for a worm of its age and size. Now, the men and women and theys and thems of the Cedar Watch are an excellent, competent bunch who safeguard the region, but they're no dragon slayers. They're complaining they're hard-pressed to deal with this draconic threat because of a sharp uptick of goblin attacks in the region. I would go as far as to say the two are almost certainly linked. In my experience, a young dragon seeks three things: a place to make its lair, a place to build a hoard, and servants. Goblins are the most easily influenced and led of creatures. I would not be surprised if there was not a link. What are you thinking so far?
I think it's certainly seems like a classic tale, recruiting of underlings, especially ones as dim-witted, as you say, and easily convinced as goblins. But goblins are no match for us. Obviously, the primary concern will be the dragon himself or herself. Is a male or female? Do you know? Is this
We do
dragon
not.
well known?
We don't know. Not yet.
Well, regardless.
Is there any advice or equipment that you would suggest for, first time dragon adventurers?
Better than any individual piece of equipment you'll have access to with the circles you move in. Having a plan. Fighting together seamlessly. These are all the trademarks of successful dragon slayers. Green dragons spew a torrent. They don't breathe fire. They'll expel a huge torrent of corrosive acid. Take the flesh right off your ass.
So what would be a reasonable plan? Is it better to confront the creature in its lair? Or is it better to deal with the servants first? Lure it away from the lair? Open
No.
fields doesn't seem to be a good solution if they're
No
Lights
two
were
dragons
so-
I've fought have ever been the same. Sometimes charging in head on before they can mobilize their forces has proven me well. Other times, that would be suicide.
And are we wanting to slay this dragon or just convince it to move on?
He swills his goblet and drains it. Just like, I do enjoy your brevity, Asher. No, wait. Are you being serious? Let me laugh even harder. You will not convince a dragon as such, not about bringing it within an inch of its life anyway. And besides, you're not a dragon yourself. Its plans are longer. It would simply return when you have died. The undertaking here is to slay the dragon.
Fair enough.
If that lies outside of your comfort, I fully respect that, but we'll be dispatching guild members who have no such scruples.
What was the what was the payout again?
The payout with dragon is the dragon itself is yours to strip down and make what use of as you will. The guild cut, as ever in these situations, is 20% of a hoard. Coinage, preferred over magical items and treasures.
So just whatever we can gather from whatever it's hoarded, and you guys get 20%.
1/5.
Okay.
For information presented, connections made, services rendered, teleportation hither and thither.
Yeah, absolutely. That's fine by me. And then we get access to the dragon. She's just gonna kind of zone off, thinking about dragon bits and what all they can be used for.
I don't suppose there's a good way of us transporting the hoard, should we find it back here?
I'd suggest taking some satchels.
Hmm.
Make a note of a location. If it's at all accessible. Try and find a horse and wagon to take with you or something. It's a young dragon, so it won't be anything significant. I myself once spent a decadent afternoon rolling around naked on a pile of gold coins not much bigger than this very building.
Can't imagine that was very comfortable.
He leans forward a little bit and is like, the ecstasy far outweighs the discomfort in such a rare situation.
Fair enough. Don't knock it till you try it.
Clem, are there any weaknesses that you know of the green dragons? I can imagine normal weapons are not as effective against its scales.
For a young dragon, the weaknesses are lack of experience and overconfidence. If it's young and hasn't been killed, then it's probably that stage of life where it believes that only a bigger dragon could ever do it harm. What else would you like to know?
And do you think we're ready for this, Mr. Fandango?
Here you are.
And there is some transportation that can be provided? It is a
and he
long
looks at the
distance
map.
after all.
He's like, my boy, this would take nearly a month of travel. Yes, same as your endeavors to Rivermoot. You can be teleported there and back. Otherwise, the damn thing will be fully grown by the time you arrive.
Ha ha! What a jest.
Perhaps we plan.
If you would care to discuss amongst yourselves, my goblet is empty, and poor Obsidian doesn't look like to get me a top-up anytime soon, so I shall to the bar and return in but a moment, yes?
I'll need to try and get some ingredients to see if I can make some
Anti-dragon
potions against
potions.
poison for us.
Why would he expect me to refill his goblet, huh?
Maybe you look like a servant to him.
I think he mentioned acid rather than poison, Asher. But maybe we just need to research some of the green dragons a little bit.
Well, as well as green dragons, perhaps the Dragon Hall has a term about this young dragon and its previous exploits.
Did he say acid, or is it...
I think I said acid, but yeah, it'd be poison.
Sorry, okay.
Would it be poison?
For a
Do we
green,
know
I think
that?
it would, yeah, black's acid, isn't it?
Alright. GM...
He says the type befitting its colour.
Alright, GM, would I know the ingredients needed to make anti-poison potions?
No, because it's not in your recipe book and you haven't sorted out before, so you don't know how to do that yet. You have your book of all the recipes you know, remember?
Yeah, I know. I was just wondering, like, if I were to, is this like in Skyrim? If I come across an ingredient and eat it, can I be like,
Magically, no, it is not.
All right. Well,
All this
then
campaign
You
will
have
be
some-
nothing but you eating things at the party, Luke.
All right. Well, if I can't figure out how to make one in time, then maybe I run to the market and see what we can find.
He comes back with a goblet and a tray of shot glasses held in the other, which he rests on the table. Where were we?
I
Atticus
think
looks
just
around the group.
figuring out what we need to gather supplies-wise before we leave.
Just getting ready to accept our mission. That's where we were.
Rations. You're going out to the middle of a Gulf mere with no clear direction of where to go next. You'll be checking in with the Cedar Watch. And then whatever information they can give you. Say, he checked his... Lieutenant Rorik. Or Lieutenant Rorik. Is your contact. He's the one who put the coin together and sent the message.
All right.
In your experience, finding its lair, what should we be looking for? Just the pile of corpses, the trail of corpses, the sound of screams.
Normally a large cave or lost or ruined structure. Somewhere high or somewhere deep. It'll be large and expansive. Dragons can change shape, but they typically want their true form to be able to get in and out, not having to rely on going smaller. But the Gulf Mere is an old, wild, dangerous forest. Goblins aside.
What else can we expect to find there?
I believe there's quite a few hill giants. Manticores used to hunt in packs there, but I believe most of those were seen off a few years ago.
If only dragons were to make quick work of hill dragons instead of mere humans.
Even more fearfully would be, what if they allied?
I think we need some time to plan and prepare. I'm concerned about the flight. We tend to specialize in close combat. And I'm not sure how easy it will be for Obsidian to climb onto the back of a young flying dragon.
I mean, if it's anything like what I saw this morning, I imagine he's quite up to the task.
As long as it stops by the ground, yes. But what if it doesn't? We should find a way to ground this dragon.
When do we need to head out by, Clem?
We told them we'd have somebody sent out by noon tomorrow.
That's a bit tight. We had some plans.
There are others. I simply offered to pass this by you first, as per our discussion. Dragons, in my experience, rarely rear their heads at convenient times.
All right. Well, and I'll look at the group. I'd love to try and see what I can find in the markets in the morning, for any sort of help with poison. But maybe we do that and then ship out. You guys need to pick up things too.
There's definitely a few places I need to visit, yeah, but definitely we should see if we can't get some information from the Dragon Hall, although this one might not be one that they have information on.
I would give to you that they have said previously that dragons typically don't become book-worthy until they're into adulthood, unless they were involved in spectacular deeds. Clem described this as being a newly arrived, previously unheard of dragon who's clearly trying to make their first moves.
I think we're better off reading this tome, and she's gonna point at the codex. See what we can get.
You got yourself a copy of a Codex Draconis.
That's right.
Well, that right there is very helpful. I'll tell you a lot of what you need to know.
Apparently. So perhaps I take some time with this book.
Well,
All right.
if you're up to the challenge, then a toast. And he hands out the shot glasses. Go easy, though. But a single one to seal you as official dragon hunters. Seems in order.
To the Dragon Hunters.
To the dragon hunters.
The dragon
Kampai.
hunter.
And he clinks, takes a sip, and you all taste, those of you who drink, that it is just water. He's like, mine is not, but this was a lesson to each of you. Don't have a heavy head the night before you chase a dragon.
Understood.
A question.
We'll save our chance to celebrate our victory in the arena until another day.
Indeed, indeed. But Obsidian, I feel you were going to ask me something.
Oh, no, I wasn't. Through all this, though, would Obsidian pick up on what was the that insight roll that got me that natural 20 that got me the fact that Clem is a little bit.
Yeah, I
the
feel like
downside.
he quite quickly said that it was due to the more serious tone of the mission and
Oh yeah,
the potential
so,
weight of feeling like he was sending you to your
okay,
deaths.
I see. So that was all. Okay, cool, good.
Well, yeah, he gathers his things up, claps each of you on the shoulder, if you will permit him, and leaves.
Cool.
Oh, in the doorway, Megiddo will send you. She'll be here all morning whenever you're ready. Earlier the better, yes?
We need some time in the morning. Prepare.
He's gone. But yes, we will need some time in the morning. I wonder if it's okay if we store some things here.
I'm sure we can keep a locket. And we'll need to pick up satchels in the morning. I only have my leather pouch, my leather bag.
Yes, some sacks or something filled with coins.
So yeah, let's quickly hit out of character a list of what needs doing so we can get the shopping summarized.
Sure.
Coin values adjusted, inventories bulked up, and then there's probably enough time left in the session for me to send you there to start off.
If we are doing stuff out of character, I guess that's a good point to ask. Would our characters, what would be the availability of the, what are they called? The bottomless,
Bags of holding.
Yeah, those.
Yeah.
Those exactly, yes.
They are fairly expensive and normally take a while normally take a while to get made. Most of them are found as
Gotcha,
opposed
yeah.
to created.
Just wanted to check like what's.
Can I ask then to Megura or Mila or whatever, the availability to rent a bag of holding for a small period of time? Because I feel like they should run a rental kit somehow. Like,
She looks like that is an absolutely fantastic idea, and she wishes that she'd thought of it before. Let me just check something.
it's like a ski resort. It's like, do you have some just skis and boots?
I wouldn't know. I've never been skiing. I'm not as rich. Let's have a look. She does not have this as a service. However, she likes the sound of it, and she will, on this occasion, I'm just checking something.
What's not for her to like?
Trying to find
She gets the bag back.
something.
We get to bring more dragon gold, and therefore she gets a bigger 20% cut. And a fee. Win, win, win. As long as we don't die.
Right. I was gonna say I love the optimism here.
Make a persuasion check, Siri.
Oh, for Christ's sake. Couldn't this be an Atticus idea?
If you brought him along.
We're going to say DC 14.
She's
Oh!
Yeah, she is happy to lend you her bag of holding. She will empty it tonight if you come back in the morning. However, she stresses, but she expects it back.
Death made me laugh with his, he quotes, the management quite likes the idea and will happily claim it as their own. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I have a bunch of stuff I need to sell. I would. Now we don't need to buy satchels or sacks or any other containers. So that's good.
I'd like to buy
DM,
potions.
how we need healing potions. DM, I'm guessing there's absolutely no time for Siri to get plate armor, clearly. So we'll leave that as a to-do, but well-made crossbolts that have some additional capability like fire or explosive or additional piercing like hollow jackets or something like that from an armorer, if there is such a thing.
You can get vicious bolts, I believe. Let's have a look. I think you can get...
Is this like the first time ever we're considering buying like magic items?
Talking of which, do you have something you want to share with the class?
No. Why
You
would
like-
I?
We all got a reward from this arena that we should like inspect and stuff.
Huh?
We got a weapon from the.
It
got a
looks
whip.
like
Yes.
it looks like for the most
Did we?
part it's normally...
Yeah, we got the lash of something. It's in the group inventory.
We have a
Lash of
group inventory.
Immolation. And
Why
if you
do I
go
have
to
no
characters and then the
memory of
party.
this?
Yeah, we got the gold, and then there was a random table roll, and they opened a chest, and there was a magic weapon in there.
Ooh.
Ooh.
This was not something that I had that I was keeping from you. It's in the party inventory.
So, a few different things. Healing potions are 50 gold each.
Okay.
Those of you who have the patience to sit through a conversation with Agrippa would find that he currently has in stock and ready to sell one.
Motherfucker.
He has one available for sale. What other potion were you looking into, Asha?
Some kind of poison resist.
Like a potion of poison resistance?
Yep.
Yep. They cost. Oh, there's no price here for this one. Does that mean it's free? Doesn't have a price on that one either. Oh, it's because it's just a potion of resistance, isn't it? Is the item.
Man, I don't know. That Lash of Immolation does not seem like an Asher item at all, so I'm not even gonna. It seems very cool, but just not her jam.
Sirius quite happy to try it out for a spin.
Agrippa, I don't know why these are all coming as series, sorry, obviously I have her selected. Agrippa also has 2 potions of poison resistance available. They cost 300 gold each.
Oh!
And they grant resistance to poison damage for 1 hour.
An hour's quite hot.
I don't think Asher can physically part with that much gold.
Okay.
Because of the mental damage.
Yeah, I feel like, the psychic damage would outweigh any possible poison damage, though obviously we'll see me eat my words on that. But she will buy the one healing potion, and then she would like to spend some of her evening making a second one.
Okay. Mark off the gold.
Yep.
And the ingredients, if you have them. Do you have the ingredients to make a healing potion at the moment?
Yes, I had the ingredients to make like 10, if you remember. And
Did
I've
you?
only made 2 since then.
Oh my god, what have you been doing?
Well,
You remember that they're your experimental healing potions, though, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
All this time doing drugs and getting sushi.
I mean, a little bit.
Your question about the bolts,
Yeah.
Siri, and I'll say beyond this, unless Obsidian, after this, we'll say we are Obsidian and Atticus have time to go somewhere, but we're not doing a full day's shopping before the mission. There's been an element of shopping around looking here. You find that Cromwell of the Forge of Legends has, this is for Siri, has this many. Has in stock 8 + 1 crossbow bolts for 30 gold each. Or, well, do you tell him what you are undertaking, or are you just looking?
Well, I would, because I would come in and say, do you have anything that can help us kill a dragon?
Okay. You've been there every time that they've gone and spoken to Cromwell, haven't you?
Yeah, with like the rune and stuff, yeah.
Make me a DC 12 persuasion check.
I should have chosen a different ASI. Yeah. Oh my word.
He
Thank you, Siri.
thinks for a while before bringing out a large cloth from under the counter. And he unfolds it and reveals a single long bolt that is dark green, and there's almost like a coil of barbed metal going around it. And instead of feathers at the end, there is like a splaying of what looks to be really, really fine metal prongs. And he describes that this is the single and only bolt of dragon slaying that he has in stock, made by his father. It is a tremendously powerful piece of ammunition. It is destroyed if it is successful, but if it hits the type of creature it is intended for, a dragon, then that dragon has to effectively make a con save, but described in character, or take an absolute fucking thump of additional damage.
But if it's destroyed if it doesn't hit.
Yep. And that costs 2,500 gold.
Your father's craftsmanship is beyond my current means. This is a beautiful piece.
He nods
What if,
understandingly and slowly begins to wrap the cloth over it.
What if I shared some of the materials we gathered from the dragon?
It's not a way to do business in this profession. If you succeed and kill this dragon, then I will happily turn its parts into usable equipment for you. There are few others in Arm who could. And you will have the means to buy this arrow, this bolt, for future dragons. But
I'll be honest, Cromwell.
given the dangerous nature of your undertaking, credit would be the end of me.
Such a bolt is also deserving of a better crossbow and a better crossbow to wielder. I am better at close range. My father insisted I train with a crossbow, and it serves me right. But I'm not a great marksman, at least not yet.
Believe me when I say I have every hope that you will bring dragon scales here for me to make a set of armor befitting of the tales you will tell wearing it.
I hope so too. How much did you say for the vicious crossbows?
They're not vicious, they're just plus ones. They are 30.
Is that
gold each?
If a plus one, is it a magical weapon? As in bypass
It is,
resistance?
so it's magical ammo, but as soon as it hits something successfully, it stops being magical.
Sure.
So you
okay,
get you only get the extra oomph one time.
Yeah. 30 each, and he's got like almost all my gold. But okay, let's go kill the dragon.
So you're buying some plus one crossbow bolts, are you?
Yeah, I'm buying all of them.
You're buying all, what was he? 8.
8.
Okay.
8 plus 3. Don't suppose you do a bulky discount, do you?
He laughs as he bundles them up.
She laughs heartily with him.
Okay, mark off 240 gold.
Mm-hmm.
And I will add in 8 plus 1 crossbow bolts to your inventory.
Is there a quick way to do this on the...
I don't think you can do like with HP anyway. I don't think you can just do minus 240 in the box. Let's see. Oh, you can!
So just minus...
I've done it. I've done it. It's already done.
Oh, you've done it. Oh,
Yeah.
crap, I deleted it. Oh, no, I deleted what I had.
You had 8.
No, it's gone back.
You had 8 something, and I typed in just minus 240, and it's gone down to 617. And your
Very
encumbrance changed as well. Cool. Okay, right. Atticus and Obsidian. What are you looking to buy?
I'm not sure I'm gonna buy anything.
I'm gonna go and try and kill
Well-
Janos.
I'm biding my time on that one. She's got the healing potion. I'm saving up so hard for better armor, but we're not going to be able to get it before we go, and I'd rather not die. I will put in for a potion of poison resistance.
Okay. That's 300 gold, if you want to mark it off.
Yep. Well, I don't, but I will. I have a ring of poison resistance that I'm currently wearing.
I'll add that to your inventory.
I will give that to Asher.
Ah! Okay, you send it to her from your inventory.
Especially if there's a chance that she can recreate this.
I need to get in the habit of just sticking this shit into the party inventory.
Well, I was just going to say, actually, I don't appear to be able to remove things from it to my character sheet. Do we have full ownership over it?
The party, you all should. Let's have a look. Configure ownership. Oh, you're all set to observer.
Right.
Let me change it to owner.
I guess to make it simpler, I will also take the last one then, the
Okay.
second.
Now we do have the ability to send to player, for example,
Cool.
from that sheet. I'm gonna
Poison resistance.
suggest
Where
that
did that go?
Sire takes that.
And I will put another potion of poison resistance into the party inventory for Obsidian to take. If you mark off 300 gold, please, Obsidian.
I have already done so.
That is
Excellent.
painfully expensive. There are a lot of things I would like to sell. Can I sell these things now?
Yeah, but unless they are the key to you then buying something else, but you have a very specific amount of gold for, let's just sort it in your chat and bump your gold value up between sessions.
In theory, that ring should now show up in my inventory, correct?
He gave you a potion, not a ring, didn't he?
Oh.
Why
no.
would he give you his ring?
Oh, I almost did accidentally, but no, I sent you the potion.
I don't see that either. Oh, there we
Should
go.
be under
There we go.
consumable.
Um,
You go.
sorry, I just realized I have 11 days worth of rations, that are very heavy. So
Yes, we need rations.
I don't know how many rations we need, but I'd like to leave some behind.
Or do you want to see how many rations your companions have and maybe just spread them around the class?
That's totally fine. Who's been not? Why do I have 11 and you guys have like none?
Well,
Yeah.
You
I have 10.
found a couple. So
Oh,
it
that's
might
good.
be that you've gone up because you've been eating in town.
I actually threw away a lot of rations because since we were in the city, we didn't need them and they were too heavy. So I now have none and will need some. If we're assuming that this is going to be like a week, then I presume that we need like 7 ration portions. I will also, to Sire, say, I was planning on selling this, but for our current mission, this might be more useful in your hands, and then if you choose not to keep it or whatever, then we can sell it afterwards. But I think every little helps right now, so as much as I want to sell it off and get some money, take this. And he will take the ornate heavy crossbow that belonged to the courier. And heavy crossbows deal 1d10 damage rather than 1d8, so probably wise.
Is she proficient?
Fighters are
You're a
proficient.
fighter, so yeah, you have all the weapon proficiencies.
The only caveat of heavy crossbows is I think that you can only fire 1 piece of ammunition per
Yeah, they have to
attack or
re-
something. But like
But you have to
you've only
reload
got
it
one
with a bonus
attack.
action, don't you, I think?
Something like that. But you've only got 1 attack, so I think it should be fine. But we can always double check the rules on that. Yeah. So you've got the heavy crossbow. She's got the potion. Rations. Yes. Based on however long we think this is going to be, I take that many rations. And I will pay
You
for some
know
if we don't
you
have
are
enough.
you're expected back in the city in a week, but you could stumble on the dragon the day after you arrive. You could spend a couple of days traipsing around camping through the woods. You don't know. That's part of the magic.
So I'm gonna send 4 to you, Atticus.
How much
Perfect.
are they? Half a gold. Okay, I'll buy 4 more and make it around 10. So that's 2 gold. No, wait, you sent me 4.
Mhm.
I need to buy 6. Boy.
Obsidian, is anything you're looking to buy while this is going on? Are you good?
Probably not.
He's buying chains for his goat.
Hmm.
No, he's buying Barden for his goat. His battle goat. He's like,
Not yet. Not quite yet.
Can I inquire about if there's secure storage that we could use to keep?
Yeah,
some stuff?
you could keep some stuff in a locker at your Adventurers Guild.
Although having said that, we have a bag of holding, so
Okay, but are you wanting to fill a bag of hold'em with your shit and then go and kill a dragon and then find that you're being forced to choose between your shit and the dragon shit?
are you telling me that there's so much stuff to loot that the bag of holding is going to be full?
I'd like
A bag
Priscilla
of
to leave her
holding
books.
only carries 500 pounds. I just checked. I don't think
Then I
you
don't
realise
want to
how
cook.
big dragon hordes are. Even
Yeah, I
a
don't-
fucking young dragon. I
In
was
that
not.
case-
When I described, one moment please, Atticus. When I described from Clem, Scrooge McDuckin on a gold pile the size of a building you're in, off some bigger dragon sizes with roll tables, that's not an exaggeration.
I have some semi-valuable items, but I do not want to put the heavy ones where they will take up our loot space, that's for sure.
Hearing that piece of information that completely doesn't know. Sia is inspired by her pilot and is going to pull a move that her pilot usually does, which is to pack bags within bags. So even though we do have a bag of holding, I think it's worth investing in a satchel that can be placed inside the bag of holding.
Well, I'm going to put in my inventory, I'm going to put Adventurers Guild locker. So there's now
Oh, yes.
an item inside the party inventory called Adventurers Guild locker, which you should be able just to stick your shit into now, and you and I will all know that means this is stuff that is not with you on your adventure.
How does one put things? Is it just like a dragon?
It should be, if you right-click edit it, you'll see there's a content section and you can just drag things into that. Like if I now drag the Knights of Bahamut into the open box,
Yeah,
It's gone in.
they've added actual containers now, which is quite cool.
So just move it onto.
hey, I was playing with Ripper released puzzle locks this afternoon. I've been playing with that. Just you wait till you come up against some puzzles.
Somehow it's just on loot. Like I can't put it in the actual.
You just
gotta open the box.
just drop it all in loot for now, and I'll move it and I'll explain it out of session time.
Okay.
Do I have anything else that is heavy?
Oh no. Do we take the ebon stone? Do we take the weapon?
I mean,
It can be useful, I suppose, to
seems
have
pretty
the.
cool to me.
Imagine how cool it would be if you pin a dragon down with it. I'm carrying so many pairs of clothes.
So after this, the shopping is done. Well, this is my morning, isn't it? So you should all have also taken a long rest, which I'll prompt for you.
Absolutely no way she has time to get a tattoo done, does she?
I would imagine
Actually,
not.
she's probably. Yeah. Fair.
Hmm.
And then, yeah, in the morning, Megira will look to transport you. If you are all
Okay.
ready.
Yeah.
I can't find. I must have deleted the Christmas. Ah, there we go.
We only
No,
bought the one
we
potion of poison resist, right?
No, you have two.
No, we got two.
Oh, we did get both. Okay. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Obsidian got it. Okay.
I'm going to place into the party inventory. You are given once again the Recorder of Recall. Which again, if you play for 1 minute, Megira will be able to magically sense it and teleport you back. It requires 1 minute of constant play, and then she will teleport you. But yes. Any
Just
last...
as a yeah, just before, like the night before, Sita would have liked to start the Codex. I know it's a chunky book, so maybe just a good like an hour before sleeping, just
Okay.
starting to read it.
Cool.
Obviously, starting with the young section.
Good
And
tip, yeah.
it's, Gija is curious to know if Atticus is going to be reading this book or not.
Which book?
The Codex.
About the Dragon Codex? Yeah, I'd definitely be interested to read it.
Okay. Well, the moment Sita has it.
That's fine.
So yeah, she performs the rituals, and you feel that sensation of being teleported once again. You very suddenly have a much more, not like tropical humid, but a increased humidity in the air. It's not any hotter. You find yourself stood with a forest at your back and a wooden fortress in front of you, lined with guards, a couple of whom just visibly startle and point towards you as you appear. And yeah, the doors open and a couple of them rush out, the gates closing behind them.
Hail, greetings, friends. I take it ye are men of the Cedar Watch.
And you'll see, yeah, they have their uniforms are more matching than these tokens. With it loaded for everybody. Are Asher and Siri on the map yet?
Mm-hmm.
One of the guards steps forward. That we are. And who are you?
We are a group that come from Athkatla's Adventurers Guild. We've been contracted to help out with a problem.
Problem being the dragon.
Yes, the dragon.
And hopefully some fucking gobos as well while you're here.
Oh, I'll do my best. Love me a bit of goblin slaying.
Which one of you's in charge?
It's me, obviously.
Make a deception check.
Deception?
Yeah.
I'm not sure I'm deceiving.
No. I imagine you don't. I was about to say, I imagine you don't feel like you are, and I feel that it being a nat 20 reinforces that and say, all right then. Lieutenant will be waiting for you inside. Open up!
I will stride forth confidently.
And it seems to be a small outfit. Bit of a humble palisade business. Any of you who spent any time out in the wilderness in remotely civilized, guarded, militia-run areas will be familiar with such pop-up encampments. And yeah, there is a dwarf covered in runes, sort of issuing some orders, who turns and sees you all arrive and say, "You'll be the adventurers then?"
You certainly are.
Why is Mr. Death looking so perturbed?
It's okay. Just a map thing. Don't worry.
Okay. Just 4 of you?
That's all we need.
Oh,
We chose to leave the goat behind.
goat? Good
Never
beasts,
mind.
goat. Loyal beasts.
I hate goats.
Well, if that says more about you than it does goats. Beautiful creatures.
Yeah, whatever. So what do you need? Where are we going? Come on, give me some information, boy.
This dwarf just the boy
Oh my god.
gives you the slowest up and down. And gets a bit of a pipe for a second. Or you reckon I must have misheard you a bit there? Say that again.
I said, Captain, what information do you have for us?
Absolutely, that's what I reckoned. So, we've been posted here about 3 months. Green Dragon started hitting and running on our caravans, on our patrols, about a month ago. Would have done something about it by now, but goblins have been rising up more mid-only during these parts. My chief ranger, she reckons I've even got goblins working with kobolds, would you believe?
Would you really say so?
Well, I wouldn't from anyone else, but I trust her. So, there's that. So it's all kind of going to shit at the moment.
Is there a particular area where you find there is the greatest concentration of goblins and kobolds?
It's definitely north of here. That's where I reckon we'll be pointing you first. There's a few farmsteads that way, and then it starts to head more up into the mountains and the crags. But I've seen it fly over here once or twice, but faster than a fucking peregrine for the size of it. I mean, I've seen 1 or 2 dragons from far over my many years, but this thing's fast. We've lost 12 good folk, good soldiers, loyal soldiers, over the last few weeks.
I do wish we had a wizard with us. But,
You know this.
hey-ho.
Do you know this forest well? Correct.
Fairly well, yeah. I've been stationed here a few times over the years. Probably spent 3 or 4 years.
According to our research, dragons' lairs change the environment around them. You might have seen some changes in the flora and the fauna, perhaps, or perhaps not.
No, I haven't noticed that, but I'll tell you what I have noticed. Unseasonably early amount of snakes. And like the poisonous kind as well. Titan normally only get in a marsh. And they normally come into more humid forest when it gets dry in the swamplands. But I've found a few here last few weeks. Is that what you mean?
That could be it. The green dragons are known to have poison that they spew, and if the snakes are poisonous, then that might be related.
I hate
there a
snakes.
Well, the more north we patrol, the more we take anti-venom with us. Well, we did till we ran out. You expect 1 or 2 bites a year. We've had about 10.
Anti-venom, that's what we should have brought with us.
Siri looks at Asher's footwear. Is she wearing sandals or boots?
No, I have
I think she
leather
wears boots, yeah.
Okay, good. Well, the character art doesn't show.
Yeah.
So
She's just been naked
Yeah.
from the elbows down.
What?
So I can't say.
She's got bandages around her arms. Maybe there were bandages around the legs and feet. I don't know.
Like a
No,
monkey.
leather boots.
I can't spare anyone for the actual fight, but yeah, I'll send my ranger with you she'll lead the way up to the foothills. I've given her strict instructions not to enter the lair or the combat though. She's a guide only.
Understood.
In fact, where is she? Where is she? Ah, there she is. Irina, come over here.
Where is she? Who? What's her
from
name?
out of the tent, a young red-headed woman with a bow and 2 short swords, and her hip comes over. Irina, adventurers, Irina. I didn't get any of your names.
Pleasure to meet you both. Especially you, Arena, our fair guide. My name is Atticus Gladstone, and we are the Amnian Nights. I'm sure they can all introduce themselves.
Hi, Ash of Asher.
He's like, Amnian
Sarah
Nights,
Gladstone.
that's quite a name, isn't it?
It's only a recent thing, to be honest. We fought in the League of Legends, not but yesterday, and that was the name that we fought under.
Oh, I've never heard of that. But you're all proper knights.
No, just a name only.
Oh well, okay. Well, I'm going to lead you up north. I believe it is. Show you where things have been getting a bit stickier. Keep a lead on gobos and kobolds, and any other beasties. Quite a lot of ogre kidnap been out this year. But yeah, I'm ready to head off if you all are.
Ready as I'll ever be.
Plenty of wolves out here. Really keen sense of smell. So if any of you need to make your water or anything, and she nods over to the outhouse and she's like, best get it done now rather than dig a hole, if you take my meaning.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
You're sure there's no supplies we could take?
I would have.
Anything that would be useful?
I mean, meaning no disrespect, I would have thought, like, as Dragon Slayers, you'd have brought what you need with you. We're running fairly low ourselves here.
Fair enough.
I'm already packed.
How does Asher look when she comes out of that little place?
I was just gonna say the same thing.
Lighter.
About the same as she looked going in.
Well, follow me then. All's being
Where are
well.
you inciting inside the blue?
Dunno.
That was insight into Asher's honesty.
Well,
And
I
to
don't
whether
feel
he's
like
got
I don't feel
red
like you'd
eyes.
have any. I don't feel like in character you'd have any insight into that. But you would also know that you've all just had your inventories emptied by the law.
True.
Yeah, but she's crafty.
So yeah,
She's always holding though, you know.
you set off, being led north by the young. What was her name? Can't remember what her name was. It escaped me. It must have been important. Heads off into the forest on your quest to go and search for your first dragon. Who can remember its name without looking it up?
Can't pronounce it if I had it in front of me.
Gulafellamanin. There we go. That's it. Cool.
Go
And that's
for it.
where we will leave things until next time. So yeah, thank you very much. Golovik Sanulan, yeah. So thank you very much, everybody. It's a talky session, not a fighty session, but I promise there are big fighty sessions to come. So yeah, we will be back next time. Bye-bye.